You're bing 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 boom 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 boom. Stop. Drop. Shut them down. Open up shop. Oh no. That's how Rough Riders roll. Mic check 1 2. What is this? Can you hear me? Mic check check. I know y'all can't see me because my lights aren't turning on. Hello, one light. Can I get another? No? Bet. We in there. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. This is the show that never ends. Why? Because things keep happening and I got things to talk about. Ooh, saw that. I caught myself. I didn't say a bad word. I'm being an adult with indigestion. It's the rock star. I'm sorry. Welcome back. How y'all doing? Y'all know that it's been it's been an interesting day, and I really don't want to talk about all the bad, nasty, negative things because it's the holidays. People are sad. It's cold outside. Make sure you're taking vitamin D. It's very necessary this time of year. As a matter of fact, doctors have almost damn near found out that we don't have a cold season. We just have a vitamin D deficiency season. That's my free tip for the day. I should put that shit on TikTok and help some kids. We didn't do makeup today. I'm shiny. I apologize. Let's get into it. Today's show shall be fun. We'll keep it light. We have a couple of Walmart stories that I think are interesting. Is my sound clicking? Sounds like it's clicking. How's it sound? Because I don't know. I don't know. We talked about Walmart. I think the Walmart stories are pretty funny. There was another Tupac story that popped up that I have to talk about because it's Pac, and when it's Pac, it's interesting. But honestly, this whole unheard music thing is pretty awesome because Pac recorded so much music. We'll be talking about that. More Omicron updates and the first case that touched the United States, so we definitely have to talk about that today. And an off-duty cop. Oh, wow, awesome. And an off-duty cop that took a body home after he ran them over on the freeway. I thought that was awesome too. Let's record this show. Remember, if this is the first time that you're watching, to be a part of the studio audience, head over to YouTube. We're recording for the podcast, so you might not be able to hear the music. That's because you're watching. So you got to head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and things of that nature to find the pod, to listen to the music and the other things that occur. Is that it? Yeah, like and subscribe. When you like, other people get to watch us. And when you subscribe, you make sure you're back and you get to see us when we're here. And we, that's all we ask for. Just spread the word. We're going to keep on pushing. It's 12 days. Just 12 days. 31 for the year, but there's 12 till my day. I'm festive. I love this time of year. Now remember, if you can't hear the music, that's because you're watching. Head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere where podcasts are heard. We're even on Audible. We were honored to be on Audible. And on the weekends, we got a radio show on Spotify. We got mad shit going on, yo. We everywhere, aren't we? Awesome sauce. Sorry if I'm breathing like a applause. It's Kasabian. Kasabian Lavoe wine. What's going on, beautiful people? It's Kasabian. Kasabian Lavoe wine. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. I'll be your host with talent on loan from God. Kasabian. That's it. Just Kasabian. That damn intro is always hard for me to knock out because my name is so long and I just got to keep on doing it so y'all never forget. But I'm so grateful that y'all are here today because it's been a long day. It seems to just continue to be a long day, but I got a great workout in and I ain't even gonna front. Like, that changes my whole mood when a good workout is knocked out and we in there like swimwear. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. Head over to klavoe.com. Check out the merch. Check out the music. Check out the old podcast. There's 260 some odd episodes for you to go indulge and dive into and cuss me out and get mad at me because I'm here to just I'm gonna poke at you. I want you to learn and I want you to talk about things and I want to be uncomfortable. Why? Because if not, we don't grow. But it's the holidays right now, so we're gonna have fun. Is my do-rag too white? Like, is my color off? It looks like my color's off. I ain't even gonna front. I don't like it. My color looks mad off, don't it? I'm sorry for the people that are listening, but the people that are watching, my color looks off. There it goes. I look better now? Do I look too red? Oh man, this is trash. I can't believe we're doing this live on air, but hey, here we are. Bear with me, y'all. I think I look all right. I'm not sure. Either way, let's get into it. Today's show is going to be fun. Like I said, we got a couple of stories from Walmart and some Tupac music that hasn't been heard that will be released. An update on Omicron and boomers. There's a little list that I found on BuzzFeed that looked very interesting, but we'll jump into it because we're having a millennium boom right now. So what happens when these millennials are the ones that are booming? I believe I'm a millennial, so I guess when we're boomers. I'm not a part of this trend. We didn't have no babies during this shit. This whole COVID baby. That's going to be a horrible name. But anyway, we'll talk about them and this off-duty cop that took a body home. Mandy loves those. So we'll be talking about that cop. A woman was falsely accused of shoplifting in Alabama at a Walmart using one of the self-checkouts. Now, those self-checkout machines aren't necessarily the best. They're not too bad, but I mean, they're not the best. And she was accused of stealing basically like $50 in groceries. It wasn't even that big of a deal, but nonetheless, they took her to jail. Like, they gave her a mugshot, they gave her a record all for stealing, and she was like, yeah, the machine was broken. And then they harassed her continuously for the money for what she had stolen, but she didn't steal. The machine fucked up, and then they tried to charge her for stealing something that she didn't steal. Like, things happen. Now, having self-checkout, we're going to have people very aware and attentive at what's happening, but Walmart can't just bully people into paying for some shit that wasn't true. Like, if the lady was willing to pay right then and there and just get that taken care of, I don't understand why they didn't just let her do that. Like, it's so strange. Either way, she got to sue them and she won $2 million. 2.1 or 1.2. Hey, guess what? Paid her fucking groceries. But those self-checkouts, please be careful and pay attention. Make sure you don't double scan or double swipe. Call the people to come over and give you a hand. Put them to work. There's like at my Walmart, we have, probably 18, so 30 some odd check stands with about 4 people to help you. That's it. That's all it takes. Walmart, although they are a big company, they take care of their people. People don't believe... Contrary to belief, Walmart does take care of their employees, and they do pay very well for what they are asking for. And luckily, this lady was able to sue and take care of that and get that off her record, man. That's not cool. Like, you literally are just gonna... This is a fucking... She looked like just like a nice regular mom that ain't never done nothing ever, and now you got her out here looking like a criminal in front of who knows how many people in that little town of Alabama, which I'm sure everybody and their mom knew what happened. Take your money and run. Go ahead, get you a big-ass ranch or some shit and get some cows. Now... Another lady in a whole nother Walmart, whole nother city, stepped on a rusty nail at Walmart and sued them after losing her leg. They paid her $10 million. I'm not saying go to Walmart and get hurt, but I'm saying, man, that motherfucker paid, don't it? Nobody was killed, luckily. They're not the best stories, but I just thought, look, if you can get the bag at Walmart, go get the bag, yo. Walmart be taking us for everything anyway. And that's pretty much it. There was breaking and enterings are happening everywhere. I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. Go get you a weapon to protect yourselves. People are breaking into cars. Don't leave anything valuable in your vehicles. It's the holidays and people ain't got shit to do, so they're gonna do things like this and make it unbearable for others. You know, misery loves company. And LA's going the elderly woman was just murdered earlier today in a breaking and entering. She was shot and killed. She couldn't have been more than 80 pounds, man. A bullet would have went through her and chopped her down. It's not okay. It's not cool. It's out of all the shit that the hood or that I like the background that I come from that I probably am trying to help the most. That's the one thing I'm not with. I don't take from people, bro. Stealing is something that I'm not okay with. That's fucked up. And then killing an innocent person. Whack 100 said something that was really interesting. Is the camera changing? Excuse me. Whack 100 said something really interesting, and I thought it was cool because, you know, him as a OG, he don't really speak much on things like this, but this is a decent situation or an indecent situation in which I'm glad that he did speak up on. And yeah, for breaking and entering, you should get 25 to life, just automatically. And we should be allowed to murder these people and not have to worry for our freedoms. Sorry, if you break into my house, I want to be able to defend myself. And I think you should be able to defend yourself too and kill that piece of shit and not have to worry about anything. Unfortunately, even here in Nevada, let's say you break into somebody's house in Nevada and you get shot, you don't die, you can sue that person. I recommend you don't, but you can, but don't. It's shit like that. It's a weird world, right? So you break into my house, you get hurt. Now I got to pay you. Word. Whack. That was a good one. And if you saw, I'm telling you, bro, there's so much bad shit. Like, if we wanted to really have a long pod and go crazy, I could talk about Whack 100 and Blueface with the artists that they kicked out. We could talk about this breaking and entering. We could talk about all the breaking and enterings. Like, it's getting nasty out there. The shit that just happened with Roe versus Wade, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to avoid all the bad stuff. It's the holidays. Let's just have a good time. I'm literally going to come on every day just to give people something to talk about, just so we can, have each other as company. That's the goal. That's the game right now. And we'll get into these stories, which I think they're interesting. Tupac had more music than we know. And if you know anything about Tupac, he recorded like a maniac. The man walked in, recorded. The first two words of whatever he said would be the name of the song, and that's how he got shit done so quickly. And I mean, if it's so hard to tell Tupac stories because I wasn't there, and I'm not a Tupac fan. I never was. I like a few songs, but I'm not like a diehard Tupac fan. I never have been. But I have heard from producers that work with him hands-on how he worked, how he moved. And it was interesting, and I wish I would have been there to see that. Like, similar to, like, watching Jay-Z and Big, like, I think that shit's amazing to be able to not write. I write, but it comes off of freestyles. So being able to just get in there and spit, like, that's crazy. Like, I just wanted to, like, just be there, that greatness. But I've been in Tupac's studios. It ain't his studio, but a studio that he was in, he recorded music. So, you get to feel that type of shit. But he recorded consistently because he felt, one, back then you had to record on tape. I know y'all might not understand, like, today we can record on our cell phones or on, Pro Tools, Adobe, things of that nature. Not when we started. When we started, it was tape, and those fucking tapes were very expensive. We couldn't email each other tracks. We couldn't really get to each other quickly. It really wasn't a simplified game as it is today. Which leads me to another point that French Montana made, which I was kind of blown away by because it was very deep. But he said, today it's actually easier to be an NBA player than it is to be a rapper. I agree 1,000%. Rapping's hard. There's only 17 famous people in the world, bro. Or, excuse me, at a time. Not in the world, but at a time. Like, that's all the brain, that's all the marketing can handle. 17 people. I know it sounds crazy to say that that's it, but that's the truth. Like, it's a hard game. Entertainment is tough. This shit is not fun. But that was an interesting thing that French said, because he goes, there's 15 teams, there's 1,500 players. You got a better chance of being on the league than you do as a rapper. Because honestly, there's only like 5 rappers that you talk about. That's it. You didn't. I ain't even gonna say that, but that's it. Anyway, so the story comes from TMZ, and I'm gonna make a prediction now. This thing will be an NFT, or this thing is gonna sell for millions. TMZ reports that a computer's hard drive owned by the rapper's bodyguard and right-hand man is being sold by GottaHaveRockandRoll.com at a starting price of $10K. However, insiders told the outlet that it could sell for $600,000 or more. The hard drive was property of Frank Alexander, who was since deceased. Again, this is interesting because is it good music? Is it bad music? Where do you do with this music, and who do you take it to? It's Tupac. This shit gotta sell for millions. And who, like, do you get to produce? Like, okay, can you sell this? Can you get publishing? Can you do CGI to it and make a video? Like, what happens with this music? And this is like almost damn near American history. How do we just allow whoever has their hands on this music to just do whatever they want to do? Right? Like, or is there, I don't know, are there rules behind it? There was so many questions I had, but that was it. They're going to put it up for auction. I see it going for millions and millions. I really don't think that it'll go for anything less than a few million. It's Tupac. Like, it's Tupac. His urban legend is bigger than anything else. And we'll see what happens with that. But I see NFTs. I see some type of crypto, something behind this Tupac shit, and some type of dope-ass exclusive video or some type of cut. I don't know. The world is yours now. You can monetize anything and everything, and something like this is damn near American history. So that's a big deal. We spoke on the Omicron variant that came and swept the nation and the world last Friday. Excuse me. Here we are once again. Now it's finally reached the United States, and it's in California, our neighbors next door. The person that does have it actually was in South Africa. They are quarantined at the moment, and hopefully this doesn't get any further than that, but you know that shit doesn't really work that well. The story comes from the Los Angeles Times. The Omicron variant of the coronavirus has made its way to California. The variant presents itself in the state reported in the state. Why the fuck can I not read? The variant's presence in the state reported Wednesday by the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. That's such a fucking dumb name. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking out loud, and I shouldn't be. It's not unexpected. The first detection in Southern Africa last month. The strain has already been found in nearly 24 countries and around the globe. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on. No, I'm not going to allow that to be a thing. I'm going to do that again because I don't know why the space is like that. I'm going to have a whole thing about this. The variant presented in the state report. I already read that. I'm not going to go over it. Officials have been long expressed concern that the 1-2 punch of the end of the year holiday season and colder weather will increasingly push people to gather in crowded indoors. Are people worried about coming together? Are people even getting together? That was another big question too. Like, what is happening this holiday season? Because nobody could travel. They already shut down half the travel. Like, literally, half the travel got shut down. Hold on. I was trying to jerk. No, I don't got it. Much remains unknown about the Omicron. Answers are now more pressing than questions. Whether the variant spreads more easily can cause severe illnesses or dodge some of the protective affordability by vaccines. They're saying that the vaccine is still protecting you. They're saying to keep wearing masks, keep washing your hands. As of right now, the information hasn't necessarily changed. We don't know if it spreads more because it's a stronger variant or just because of this mutation. As of right now, it's still mild symptoms. Light headache. They said sore throat. They said fatigue and no coughing, no loss of smell. So it's not like the original that was basically laying people out. You know, like the original not the original, Delta variant, which is the most severe of them all. Here's a quote from Fauci. We don't know everything we need to know yet about the Omicron variant, but we know that vaccination is a safe and effective way to protect yourself from severe illness and complications from all known SARS-CoV-2 variants to date. Oh, this wasn't from Fauci. Excuse me. This is from Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. This was said during a press briefing on Tuesday. This was from Fauci. The thing is that we got everyone's attention with the large number of mutations, around 50. Okay, so we talked about this. Let me break that down a little bit better. So the variant has a huge mutation inside of it. It's over 50 different mutations. But it's not attacking people as such, right? Like, it's mild, but it's very mutated. Some, according to the molecular configurations, are anticipating the impact of transmissibility and antibody binding, said Dr. Fauci. So they're worried that maybe with the mutation that we won't be able to stop it with the vaccine. You know, as it mutates, as it changes, it'll continue to be something that we'll have to adjust the sauce every time. And this is just nothing new. As of right now, we're still kind of just learning it, but nothing to be concerned about. Keep moving as such. If you need the vaccine, go speak to your doctor. If you are vaccinated, I think you're supposed to get a booster shot. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just here trying to help. Go get checked. Take vitamin D. If you're not outside in the sun, get vitamin D. It's hot as shit in Vegas. We was outside in shorts and t-shirts yesterday. We're getting plenty of vitamin D out here. But for those that can't because of the cold weather, trust me, get vitamin D3 and get you some fish pills because this shit is not going to be light. I really wanted to find what countries shut down. Oh, it'd be nice to fucking bring it up. Anyway, this variant is going to be frustrating because it came at the worst time, and it's a month old. I think that's a big fucking deal too. Like, maybe we should have spoke about that a little bit before Thanksgiving and shit, because I feel like maybe people might have gotten sick and they could have avoided it. But what do I know? Not a doctor. That was like the shitty story. Now I want to make fun of boomers because boomers are like the adults, and we're not adults. We're just regular ass kids, aren't we? I'm old as shit. I'm such an adult. I love how a lot of the young people love complaining about boomers, and then like boomers and millennials just love going back and forth. I've been told I'm a millennial because of my birthday. I don't believe it, but whatever. This story from BuzzFeed is actually a list that I broke down. I took some of the best ones. These are their complaints about boomers and what they can't wait to leave with boomers. Like, one of my biggest things with boomers, I think, is like racism, right? I'm just going to keep it a buck. I feel like that's one of our biggest weaknesses, that we come from a very prejudiced background, and those people are now older and they're fading away, and it's actually becoming a wonderful thing for the future. Now we just got new things that we have to worry about, but nonetheless, that blatant hatred for no reason is fading away. So from BuzzFeed, the first one that came up, the customer is always right excuse. Okay, not allowing employees to adequately defend themselves. The customer is the customer. The service you get is a privilege and not a right. My bad. Why is the story not moving? That's actually hilarious. How do y'all feel about the customer's always right? I've always said the customer. We're in Vegas. There's a thing that they say, the customer doesn't know anything. The customer isn't right. If the customer is a customer, then the customer gets what you give them, right? Like, you're the customer. You came here to us. So I agree. The customer isn't always right. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that the customer is always right is one of those things that we should just get rid of? This is funny too. The service you get is a privilege and not a right. But when I pay for it, I'm expecting a certain amount of service. But if that's the service you give and I'm not happy with it, then the way that I affect your business is by getting the fuck away from it, right? The workhorse mentality that they want employees to have. My job does not need to be my life, and when I get my I don't know what's going on today. My job does not need to be my life when I'm getting paid a mediocre wage. I think that's what's going on right now with the Great Resignation. A lot of people feel like they're being overworked for nothing. These businesses want you to give up your entire life for something that could barely even pay a phone bill. Barely pay a phone bill. My bad if y'all can hear that. Totally my fault. Anyway, does that bother people today that you know what I've always loved? Like, the overzealous manager that always sits there and is like, oh my God, we got to do better, we got to do better, we got to do better. I think that was what kept me away from being in the work field, like, or at least in the workforce, excuse me. People that just take their jobs way too serious, like people that you know are never going to get anywhere in their life, and they get into these positions where they're like, oh my God, I finally made it. It's like politicians, and they just like really have this idea of kissing ass to the top. Y'all are such losers. Here's another one, number 4. Being completely ignorant when it comes to technology. Are boomers completely ignorant to technology? Is that really a boomer thing? This kid said, my father refuses to even use Wi-Fi or get any kind of computers at home because that's how they get you. Who still believes in that shit? I'm his personal shopper, his look it up person. Yo, he's not educated on anything, not even the basics. That's fucking great. Are boomers really that bad on computers? Didn't boomers like start the computer movement? Like, shouldn't they be good on computers? I don't understand anybody that's not good with computers. Okay, I mean, yeah, we have I believe we have maybe a few generations of people. Even today, I'm over that whole they're gonna get you shit. I feel like they got you. This one was another interesting one as well, but I don't know how many people deal with this. They said it's probably a small issue compared to some others out here, but I do wish that people of older generations would stop just randomly showing up to visit without checking if it's okay. I mean, take the time to send a message or call in advance. Not anything specific, but it's not specifically a boomer thing, but I don't know anybody under the age of 40 who does this. Who comes to people's houses without knowing, like without announcing? When I lived in the hood, I had a really nice car and I parked in front of my house. Everybody knew I was fucking home because my car was outside. People would walk up to the door and be like, yo, what up, Kasabian? I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing? Get away from my house. Like, it's going to be a problem. And friends that we didn't want, like, yo, will you get the fuck away from my house? Like, why are you here? Anyway, making youngsters feel bad for not buying or owning a home. Damn, you could buy your own home for the price of a coffee, whereas we're stuck in this rent cycle for years. Why isn't this moving? Whereas we're stuck in this rent cycle for years, then you shame us for pleasures like avocado toast. That one was weird to me. But do people really pressure young people to buy homes in that fashion? Like, I think I tell young people to buy homes because I believe that buying a home gives you so much freedom later that it's almost a necessary evil, because why do you want to get stuck in that renting cycle? I just think maybe it's being pushed on you differently, or you're just a spoiled brat that just gets a lot of fucking junk and don't take care of themselves. Like, you're wasting money. Like, if you can't take advice, that's on you. Number 13 on this list was obsessive yard work. Mowing the lawn and picking up every blade of grass is not a personality trait. The fuck it is. Because where I'm from, We didn't have grass. So my yard looked immaculate for the longest. And then we switched houses and I don't have like this crazy like garden of a backyard. I had a electric garden of all solar plants. I had grass. We had trees in the front. I had these one plants that only turned purple 2 weeks out of the whole year. Like I went crazy with the yard. Hell yeah. Mowing my grass. We laid in the grass. No, that is a process that we take very serious. Fuck that. That is a personality trait. This one was good too. The need to recant how when they were kids they played outside with dirt and sticks because they didn't have electronics. But if they had electronics and they were kids today, they damn sure would rather be playing with the electronics than be outside and playing with dirt. That one was good, but I think that there's like a happy medium. Good parenting will keep kids outside. Shit, I was just telling my wife yesterday. I noticed something when we were at the park that the same issues that apply to bad neighborhoods apply in good neighborhoods. Kids that have parents that have to work all the time to give them a better life basically have kids living the same way that kids do in poverty because their parents that are in like the ghetto and whatnot, they work all day and night while you come home and get to raise yourself. That just happens. I noticed that yesterday at the park. I was like, wow, we live in a neighborhood that's, expensive. And I noticed that there was no parents. There's just a bunch of kids and like older brothers and sisters hanging out with the younger kids. And I was like, wow, the same issues, not a single car in sight. So the same issues that you would see in a bad neighborhood are happening in affluent neighborhoods. And it's not uncommon, but there's a happy medium where you can like have your kids playing Xbox and go play ball. And I think a lot of kids do change. I think a lot of kids at the beginning too of the electronic phase, like when like cell phones first came out, iPads first came out, we just got hooked. Now I don't think it's that big of a deal. Finally, this one's from a boomer. We must stop throwing our old school views on how to be successful and achieve goals. All right, shut up with the way I did it was, and all you need to do is. Those do not even remotely apply to this younger generation. Your advice is neither useful or helpful. Just stop. No, I don't buy that at all. There's ways to give advice. There's certain things that are always going to work. Giving advice is giving advice. This person is obviously someone that had no good advice to give, so they didn't learn anything. And that's what you get from a person that's pretty much a low-level nobody. Boomers are weird, bro. It was a weird time. It was a time, immigration has a lot to do with that. The country wanted to grow. We were too small, so we had to do what we did to grow, and it put us in this position that we are today where we're not really prepared to handle 300 million people, nor the next boom and the next wave. Like, what happens when there's 600 million? What happens when we're a billion? When we reach 1 billion, then what? It's going to be very, very interesting. And that was it for like the last cool story. And it's really about to just get all morbid again, but it's worth it because the story's dope. The story comes out of New Jersey. A New Jersey police officer was charged with vehicular homicide, and wow, really desecrating human remains after he allegedly struck and killed a man on the Garden State Parkway on November 1st. I didn't read that part earlier. I didn't realize that was the charge. In the city of Bloomfield, and left the scene, with the body in his car. The Essex County prosecutor officer said on Wednesday, the officer 25, Luis Santiago from Bloomfield, was driving on the shoulder of the parkway going north around 3 a.m. when he allegedly struck Damien, 29. Authorities said that after hitting Damien, Santiago and his passenger Albert Guzman, 25, left the scene before returning multiple times before loading the victim in a car. Neither called 911 or attempted to render aid to the victim, authorities said. Holy shit. So that was the first part of the story from November, which is pretty intense. And here's the update from yesterday. This came from the AP. It's all in quotation. It says Santiago then took the body to his home in Bloomfield, where he and his mother and Guzman allegedly discussed what to do with the body. The prosecutor's office stated the body was eventually returned to the scene. Authorities said Santiago's father, a Newark police lieutenant, called police to report that his son had been in an accident, authorities said. When New Jersey State Police arrived, the 30 said the body was found in the backseat of Santiago's car. Luis Santiago. Wow. Luis Santiago's mother and Guzman were both charged with conspiracy to desecrate human remains, hindering apprehension, and conspiracy to hinder apprehension and tampering with physical evidence. In addition to reckless vehicular homicide and desecrating human remains, Santiago was charged with leaving the scene of a crash resulting in death, endangering and injuring victims, desecrating moving human remains, hindering one's own apprehension, conspiring to hinder prosecutions, tampering with physical evidence, obstruction, the obstructing the administrations of law and 2 counts of official misconduct. God damn, bro, they charged him with all types of shit. Luis Santiago, who joined the Newark Police Department in 2019, was suspended with no pay November 1st. He's fucked. That's it for boy. Wow. So, ran over somebody on the freeway in the middle of the night. He was with his homeboy, took the motherfucker home, picked him apart, then put him back in the car and said, yo, my bad, I hit him. And his dad was a cop too. This shit is crazy and they sound Puerto Rican. And that's it for today's show. Comment below on that list. Do me a favor. Let everybody know that you saw us by hitting that like button. But definitely comment below on that Boomers list. My name's Kasabian. I'm going to go play video games with my friends. My name's Kasabian. Live in the moment. Don't live in the past. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. Wine.